Now you got Africa. Jokers running around in grass and in huts, barefoot, famine all over the place. They have a rate of replacement higher than the United States of America. All these primitive countries where jokers don't get hardly no standard of living, life expectancy might be 45 years old, and they have a rate of replacement higher than the United States of America. Their countries are growing. Countries that are dying, atheist communist countries. China, Western Europe, United States of America, maybe Japan, because it has kind of the same standards that the United States of America has. But all of these countries that have become anti-Christian, anti-God, yeah, dying. And look like the black racists in America are going to kind of get what they want, but they're going to destroy themselves at the same time. It's almost like a kamikaze. He destroys his enemy, but he dies at the same time. It seems like America's on this kamikaze quest. Black America is on this kamikaze quest to destroy itself, along with white America too. It's bad enough that you say, I want to destroy white America, but, we're going to thrive. Oh, no. Your hatred for white America is so great that you're going to destroy yourself in the process. Destroy your relationship with your God in the process. It's amazing and it's sad and it's incredibly insane to watch in real time. When you have you're a person with a big brain like me, and I'm sitting there watching this thing and say, wow, well, this is amazing, and people don't even understand what's going on now. And even when you look at the statistics and you tell people about it, like what I'm doing here, they continue on with it. So this story in the Washington Post continues. These very, very sad people actually believing that they should be afraid of the United States of America. It says that worry that the country may be on the brink of eroding any progress it has made on issues of race and power hung like a cloud as thousands gathered in Selma and Montgomery in recent days to remember Bloody Sunday. They question not only what will happen now, but also who will rise in the next generation to take on what many described as the biggest challenge to civil rights since 1960s. Wow. All of that, and I've never felt the level of fear and anxiety that we're feeling right now, Perkins told lawmakers Friday. People are genuinely hurting. Fear again. Fear. 365 times in the Bible, God orders us to fear not. One for every day of the year. Fear not. Nevertheless, we got a bunch of black preachers and black leaders telling Christians who supposedly believe in God to fear. You see why this is an anti-Christian movement? You see why I call them a party of perverts, liars, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots? Fear. Well, they got a problem with me because I ain't scared of a damn thing. Sure ain't scared of them. Why am I not afraid? Because I'm an heir of Jesus Christ and I'm a child of God. God did not give me, God did not give me the spirit of fear. Fear comes from Satan. So when you admit that you're afraid, you admit that you've been overcome by Satan. And all of these black people walking around crying and snotting, talking about they're afraid, you need to understand that all of them that flew down in their private jets, that want power, need to understand that all they're doing is being used to implement this murder machine for the Democratic Party. So they're crying. Oh, they got Raphael Warnock down there. They got, they're speaking at the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church in Selma. Warnock, who leads Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, where Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. preached until 1968 assassination, acknowledged that he sometimes felt weary. Raphael said, I feel weary. But what he described as the Trump administration's war against the poor and the efforts to undo racial equity. Like there is racial equity, whatever the hell that is. If you ask them what does racial equity look like, they can't tell you. So, sir, tell me what racial equity would look like here in the United States of America. They'd be like, they look over for some white liberal to tell them something because they don't know what it is. He said, I didn't think we'd be fighting these battles all over again, Warnock said. But in a sermon that was often fiery, he pushed people to keep fighting, keep fighting, and tap into that strength of those who marched before them, even when the outcome was uncertain. We shall overcome someday, Warnock said. I think, we shall overcome someday. Well, I tell you what. Oh, man. Warnock spoke from the same place where civil rights leaders held their first mass meetings to encourage black residents to register to vote in 1963, and where activists secretly met ahead of the original Bloody Sunday March and a similar meeting as part of the 60th anniversary celebration. Many speakers not only nodded to the church's activist history, but likened those days to what is happening now. Let me tell you something, bro. The church shouldn't have no activist history in civil rights. They should be having activist history in bringing people to Christ and then preparing those people to live the rest of eternity in the presence of Christ. They shouldn't be involved. If you want to be involved in politics, there's enough organizations out there for you to get your butt behind involved in. A lot of them. Democratic Party, Black Lives Matter, NAACP, CORE, Urban League. Join one of them. But the church has a set mission. And Martin Luther King Jr. and them and those bunch of miscreants got inside the black church and turned it into a political arm of the Democrat Party. End of story. And it's been dying ever since. People lamenting the fact that the black church is dying. It's dying because you ain't coming to church to get a political lesson. You're learning to get spiritually fed. You're coming to get spiritually fed. Got these no-good, jack-leg black preachers. I remember Bloody Sunday. Oh, they talked about John Lewis on the Sunday night news. They beat the hell out of John Lewis on the Edmund Pettus Bridge that day. And like I said before, John Lewis was like a crash test dummy. They put him out there because John Lewis could take a hell of a lot of punches. And I met John Lewis. I think he got some brain damage behind it. I told the John Lewis story that made a lot of people laugh. But they vote. And here's something, if you take nothing else from this podcast today, please take this and keep this with you. The best advice and the best sage advice and the best line I could give you from this whole thing is this. It is not that these black people do not vote. It is who they vote for that is the problem. You got that? They vote.